Oh my gosh, I'm not a poet. The pressure. The pressure. So Nyla's saving her. Hi, Sandro. Nyla's saving her energy because, we're going to let loose in a little bit. So she asked if I could step in for her. And I think what's going to be very valuable is for me to get feedback from you guys. Because like we said, 6 months ago, we were sitting over there on a rainy Sunday when Anna brought Nyla in and the conversation started and it spiraled into this summit. So I think it's very clear we don't want the conversation to end. This is an inaugural summit. It's something that we want to do yearly and we want to just keep growing and growing. So if we can get feedback from you, I think for me that's the most useful 5 minutes we can, is that English? I was so eloquent all day. Twyla wants the scholarship. Just in. Twyla? We'll get back to my mumbo jumbo in a second.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. The young lady, can you stand that got, yes. I'd like to double your scholarship. And so, I think it's to our heart, and one of the things that I think we will do is we probably will come with you and follow you to Cameroon and see if we can assist you as well. So I'd like to get your information and I would like to pass that on.
Thank you. And now that I've had time to collect my thoughts, wait, no. Last time we did that, I ended up with a presidential suite in Cabo for a week. Mom, you don't know about that one. I guess what I was trying to say is let's just take 5 minutes, and I want to hear from you guys, your feedback. What did you think about today? Did you find value in today? And where do you want to go from here? So,
There's only one way to go.
Well, anyone? Elevate?
It was impactful. I think today was impactful and powerful, and not only did I hope I departed a message to you, but I think everyone that I heard today, and even the people in the hallway and outside at break, departed a great lesson for me. So I thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thank you all for putting this together. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Anyone else? Yes, Garrett. You all need to meet Garrett.
Okay, hi. Amanda, when you invited me, I just sort of assumed, it's Amanda, it's going to be great. I was sort of right about that. I didn't really know going into this what exactly this was going to be. And normally, the idea, I didn't know really anything about the subject of women's global empowerment or really feminism. It's just something that I don't normally get into on a normal school day, even though I do take IR and all of that. And I was really impressed just by the eloquence on which everybody talked about the subject, and I feel like I really came away with a greater understanding of what is everybody in this room trying to do? What are the goals of bringing this idea of women's empowerment global? And the economic benefits of that are clear-cut. And I think the way to move forward, just in my idea, is messaging. I go to a school with a very strong club on campus in this subject, and it sort of scares me away, for lack of a better word. But I think when I was listening to you guys, I was just like, yeah, this is great. So I think that's what becomes the key way forward, is just finding the right words and the right messaging. Because words are something that are incredibly important. It's how we get grants decided, 50 words or less, explain what you're doing. I think that's the next step. So thank you so much for organizing this event. Fantastic work. Fantastic panelists. Thank you.
Wow, Garrett for president. How old are you, Garrett?
I'm 15. I'm a sophomore at Francis Parker High School.
Wow. I wasn't joking when I said you need to meet Garrett. I'm serious. When I tell you to meet someone, it's for a reason. And I'm going to float over to Tom.
I'm going to build on what Garrett just said, but in a different direction. He came here clueless, so to speak, but I think one of the takeaways is we need to take the message and expand it. And even though we've known each other since day one, she didn't know that I just co-founded with my colleague, the St. Jude Tuition Fund Corporation to educate Nigerian women that don't get the chance to go to school, and we're going to bring them to San Diego to educate them so they can go back and finish their degrees, and so on. How many more are in San Diego alone that are doing the work that all of us are doing who aren't here? Because they didn't know it exists. And because Amanda and the core that started this, you're not Karnak. You can't expect to know everything. But I think it's up to us to reach out. Who do we know that's doing this? And let's bring them in. Because it's only going to go somewhere if we also expand.
Okay. I'm in heels, but I feel like I should dance up the stairs.
Hi. Hello. I just wanted to expand a little bit on what everyone actually said, and beginning with the first gentleman who was talking about how to get the message across, exactly what you were just saying. You can Google certain things and it's going to give you a list, but I think the message needs to go to the schools, having little communities set up. You know how different agencies go to the school and they're just like the Mothers for MAD, they go to school. There has to be some kind of community where the kids can see all of this. If these women and kids saw this at the school, it would open up their minds that there's so much that's available for them to participate in. So I think the schools is a number one place to start, and then within the community also. But just to piggyback on everybody else's, yes, this message, like you said, who knows about all of these agencies and nonprofits? Nobody does. Thank you.
And as I'm walking to her, that has really been the goal of this summit and Alliance for Empowerment. Our power lies in bringing people together and tapping into those networks. So yes, I'm going to pass.
Well, then I might be teeing you up. No, this has been great. I guess the question I had is sort of, is it through Alliance for Empowerment? Is it through a local community of practice? Sort of what next? One of the panels today on collaboration. What I'd say is, even though we might be different universities and different entities, and yes, we apply for different grants and we work with the same corporate partners, et cetera, the pie is big enough because the problem is big enough. So how do we work together?
Anyone else? Don't be shy. Yes, I'm coming to you. Power walk.
Thank you. I'm sort of going away today with the message that the expertise is already in the community. We've heard that from some of the panelists, and that people are the experts of their own experiences. And, just in San Diego, over the last decade, we've been the #1 resettlement site of refugees in California and I think in the United States. City Heights alone speaks 30 languages and over 80 dialects. 57 languages, so it's growing every year. 80% are women and children. I think there's huge opportunity to be a leader in San Diego and an example for what it means to truly empower women and girls, right? And to be an inclusive society, economically and socially. So I'm really excited about maybe a next opportunity that brings those individuals who are experts of their own experience with agencies to really think across the board on what it really means to do this work and truly be empowered and truly be in power together. So thank you.
Yes, and I agree wholeheartedly about we're in San Diego setting the example. Not only in San Diego, but we're binationally. We've got Tijuana right there. So, okay, I'm going to do John, and then okay.
Thank you. One thing that came to mind as we were going through the last discussion, my wife and I, starting in 1970, went through the move to law school, where Barbara decided to become a lawyer. And she was, I think, the third or fourth female student in the class. One of the first 2 or 3 public defenders in Orange County hired in 1973. And women are now more than 50% of the law schools. The idea that the hard sciences, soft sciences, any sciences, are not the next boundary to be broken is crazy. Of course women will be in the sciences, and they'll probably be more than the rest of us. The only problem is, as Barbara says, does that mean the pay for all of them are going to go down? Because, of course, whenever women come into it, the pay goes down, not up. But it's clearly doable. The second thing about it is it's a pleasure to have been part of the little not-for-profit that was able to turn this opportunity over. Our board turned it over to Nyla and Anna and Amanda in the group. And to see what you have done today in just a few months since that happened is amazing. So it makes me, and I know my colleagues, feel enormously wonderful to have that happen. And lastly, our new entity, Mycology, a social purpose corporation, we look forward to working in the coming months to make this go the next step and have a real discussion next. Brilliant speakers. And let's now make it a real conversation, as somebody said, as to what we're going to do to make things change in the rest of the years coming up.
And I think there's rumors. Ramesh? Where did Ramesh go? Right? Ramesh, Suresh. I think there's rumors about some type of online forum to keep the conversation from this summit going. So we'll get back to you on that one. Okay, I promised him.
So I graduated from college in 1985. So it's been a long time. I've been working, been to many, many conferences, many workshops. But I want to say that something special happened here. I usually go to a workshop and you meet a lot of people. You take a nap. You sometimes eat good food. But there are very, very few conferences that create a chemical reaction in your brain. And when that chemical reaction happens, there's an energy that comes out. And I think you go back thinking, boy, this is a worthwhile cause that's not out of your hands. And I think that's how I feel about it. So I want to congratulate you guys on a wonderful job here. I don't think it's easy to do something like this, and we really appreciate it.
Like most of the people today have said, I've been deeply, deeply moved by all of the work women in developing countries and marginalized communities are doing in order to interrupt a lot of the injustices imposed upon women. And I think in addition, just to piggyback off of one of the few last comments and the open forum, I think when this happens again, I think in order to take it a next step further, in order to continue the conversation about women empowerment, is to hold workshops where these community leaders that were featured on the panel earlier today kind of teach other community leaders that are present in this room some of their tactics and strategies that the community leaders can take back to their community and employ in order to empower more women, in addition to the open forum conversation that's going to jump off soon after this conclusion. And also, I think if more youth are invited, it'll also be more powerful than it already is, with such strong leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So a show of hands, because I like big visions and I like big dreams. And so it scares some people, but it doesn't scare me. How many of you would think a 2-day conference? Or summit? Summit. We named it Summit. 2 days. You'd be up for that? With breakout sessions, with workshops, with some possible mentor matching? Right? Great. All right. Well, I'm going to just say thank you from the bottom of my heart and from Alliance for Empowerment and turn it over to Suresh.